Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to another edition of our podcast where we try to connect with the vibrant Filipino community dito sa Canada. And speaking of vibrant, our personality today is that and more. And I'll introduce you today to her, Miss Dee Santiago. Hi, Dee.
Hi. Hi.
So what do I call you? What do you want to be?
You can call me Dee.
Dee. Okay.
Yes.
Some of your friends call you Margot or hindi? Dee talaga.
Mostly Dee. Yeah, just Dee.
Okay. And so hindi naman obvious that you like pink.
I don't like pink at all.
That's why her social media name is Pink Fluffy Glitterati.
Pink Fluff Glitterati.
Pink Fluff Glitterati.
Yes.
Ayan. And she has lots of followers on social media. How do you get that status of being an influencer?
I guess it's maybe just letting them know that, okay, this is what you like. I wanted to share this, but at the same time, you know, you want to tap in with different companies too, and the different companies invite me, like vice versa, para to promote their stuff or to go to their events. So that's how the influencer status come about. Kasi I know there are certain types na parang, okay, influencer, but you're really not doing business with the companies or the PR company. So parang, okay, so it's still not that of an influencer situation, but they'll see na, oh, I think this would be a good commodity. So we'll put her in. So that's how
it's
it is.
very interesting, the influencer world, because it's fairly a new concept,
That's
di ba?
right.
Dahil
Yeah.
because of the emergence of social media, there's no basis talaga for like how many followers you should have before you can be called an influencer,
That's
for
true.
example. Hindi na walang ganong
That's true.
metrics naman talaga eh, di ba? And then
That's
like
true.
what you said, some influencer work with companies to promote their brand, but
Yeah.
some influencers don't necessarily have to do that. They get
Exactly.
their own things and then they review it.
And
And then as long as they influence the opinion of the public and their followers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's they don't really base on how much number you have really. It's more on how you engage with people. So it's really tough being that if you're busy and you have another job on the side and then so parang it's really something na okay it's hard to get to that, you know.
Ano yung mga ano yung mga interests mo in your blogs and in your social media accounts?
Well, mostly it's mostly fashion. I also do food. To be honest, in my end, because there's so many places, so many restaurants, I actually only post stuff that I really like. So that's how it is. If okay, I went to a restaurant, but if it's not that good, you won't see it on my socials. That's just how it is. I want to be transparent. Pero let's say in a fashion show though, there's a difference like in there because I go to all of them and then it's my job as an influencer to post it out there, and then that's where like, okay, ito yung mga pics ko. Like when I choose my picks, it's mostly like, oh, this is what I'm able to wear. So it's something that, I can relate to myself, but at the same time, oh, I wanted to share it with you just so, you know that, this is existing. And if you like it, then you'll buy the product. And
Kasi yung dilemma naming mga tumitingin sa ibang mga social influencer,
Yeah.
parang, are you saying this dahil binayaran ka to do this, or you have a deal with them, or you got free stuff to be able to post this, or totoong opinion mo ba yun?
That's true.
Diba? So
Yeah.
what can you tell
I would
us as consumers of social media when it comes to that?
So I would honestly say there are a lot of influencers right now that are, unfortunately, they promote their products, but they're not really authentic about it. I really want it to be as authentic as possible. Right now, I really don't get any paid sponsored content, all of which are gifted. And as much as I want to get paid, like, of course, we have to make, earn a living. I mean, inflation is really a crazy topic these
It's
days.
real.
It's really real. But at the same time, like, as long as I get these gifted sponsorships and I love what they're offering me, then I'll do it.
Paano kung hindi mo nagustuhan? Halimbawa, binigay sa'yo ng libre, tapos trinay mo, tapos hindi mo nagustuhan.
Like, I would have to post once. If I post once and you don't see it again, tas tinanggal ko pa sa links. Kasi we do have like a certain post where we have to put links on them para bilhin nila yung product. Ang nangyayari, like, if eventually hindi ko siya nagugustuhan, I just take it off my link. Kasi parang it's not authentic for me to promote something I don't like. So that is how much, I want my influencer page to be. Like, just be real of what I really want.
Paano nagsimula yung interest mo or yung journey mo as an influencer?
I would say it goes way back. I think in 2011, nag-start yung lookbook.new. I think that's when it first started, yung parang mga outfit of the day nila, ganyan. Although at the time, it's really hard to do website because you really need to hire someone to do your websites. Ang ginagawa ko na lang, I post something on Instagram. At that time, I already have my Instagram. So, isi-share ko lang yung... So, this is way back in Manila when I was still there. Like, I go to, a certain mall and then I see this new restaurant or new coffee shop or even a boutique. Then I take pictures of them and I say, oh, you have to go here, like that. It started that way. As, of course, going here in Canada, I knew I'll be in a different, ball field, basically. So from there, I'm like, okay, since I'm working on my papers, I think I should lay low and just observe kung ano yung ginagawa nila. I think back in 2014, 2015, I think up till 2017, dun talaga nag-boom yung influencer market. But it wasn't really as prominent as no pandemic. So during the pandemic, that everyone buys online, and companies, they actually ship products to influencers so that they can promote the products. It became more like, oh, meron palang market ang mga influencers. Malaki yung factor nila sa pagbenta ng mga products nila. So, dun ako nagkaroon din ng interest sa, okay, this is something that I could make money off eventually. But at the same time, can't lie. I mean, I guess I want to be famous at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, I don't want to sugarcoat it, diba? Kasi lahat naman ng influencer, syempre gusto nila makilala. I wouldn't say anyone would like, no, I'm just doing this because of this. That's not me. I'm like,
Aminin na lang natin.
Aminin na lang ang katotohanan na gusto mo rin sumikat, diba? Gusto maging Kim Kardashian or something. But at the same time,
no
syempre,
apologies on those things, right? And it's actually
true.
pretty liberating
That's true.
when you admit it.
Exactly.
Diba?
Exactly. But at the same time, I want to be famous for something good eventually. So, of course, yung sa una, sige, go ka lang kung merong events na pupunta ka kahit hindi mo gusto yung product. At first, sige, I'm going to those events and then I'm gonna promote, oh, this is such an amazing product. But eventually, like, you wanna start choosing kung ano talaga yung gusto mo.
Pag nandun ka na sa stature na parang ngayon pwedeng ikaw na yung mamimili.
Yeah.
Oo.
So, I think I'm at this point now where I can start choosing talaga kung ano yung much better. Tas, instead of like, because in the fashion shows, I used to volunteer. I stopped volunteering just because I wasn't given a worth in my time, even though I've given my time. So it's like, you know what? I think it's best instead of focusing on the organization, why not focus on myself? But at the same time, give the support to the organization by being in the front row. And that really helps out because it's like, oh, at least merong paring taong nagpa-promote and they're in the front row. So people are more, interested of coming because, again, let's admit it, like people who buy tickets to the fashion shows, majority of them wants to be in the front row. So it's like, it's helping them with their market as well. But at the same time, the designers get their focus as well. So,
Okay, so
yeah.
that's a world that I'm not very that not a lot of us are very familiar with. Yung mga
Yeah.
papunta ng fashion show, and then yung mga kagaya mo na nagko-cover doon, the ones who tell us what went on, during the show, and what were the pics and what were happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Anong klaseng mundo siya? Anong mundo yung mundo ng fashion and fashion shows?
Oh my gosh. It's, for me, whenever I go to a fashion show, it's like going to a spa, to be honest. Kasi,
Ganun siya ka-therapeutic at
ganun siya,
relaxing
as
for
in,
you?
Yeah. For some reason, like seeing the models getting dressed up, they doing their hair and makeup. It's a crazy world, to be honest, just because it's, it's chaotic behind the scenes, in the backstage. But once you are actually a guest in the front row, you're just relaxing, at the same time networking with the other individuals who also work in fashion or even not in fashion. Tapos you just see the show come out, the designers are presenting their work. At the same time, you're like, oh my gosh, this is a work that was really, the blood, the sweat, the tears that came out of that show, just presenting those clothes. I mean, I commend them, the staff, the volunteers that work hard. Couldn't say the same with the models because they're not really paid, which I feel bad about. Yeah,
merong mga fashion, not all, no, means may
not
iba
all
paid.
fashion shows. Yeah.
Well, I thought that they're always paid.
Actually, no. There are a lot that are like not paid, which I'm honestly a bit disappointed of. But I mean, they needed the exposure as well. So that's kind of what links the models and influencers, is that we have, a part of us, we want to get paid, but at the same time, we needed the exposure. So we have no choice but to go and volunteer or having those gifted sponsorship para lang we get that exposure. It's like we're really doing our best to be exposed.
Do you think in a way this is unfair? Do you think that they can afford to pay the ones who are working for that particular event, including the influencers, but the models? Or is this something that's acceptable in the industry up to a certain point?
Well, I wouldn't really, like for an influencer, just being in a show where I'm really honestly thankful because the cost of those tickets are actually expensive. Just being in the front row. So for us, that's already,
Oh, it doesn't
really
have to
good.
be monetary. The
Doesn't
fact
have
na
to, yeah.
you were able
So
to get
we're-
access.
Yeah, so I'm 100% grateful for that. But I mean, like, I have friends that are models, and I feel bad for them just because, like, they are the designers or organization are utilizing their time, but at the same time, they need to get paid,
Right,
even
right.
just a small step, because they're presenting the clothing and all
May
that.
ganung hindi lang sa modeling industry.
That's
Because
true.
when I was studying advanced television and film, and I was different from my classmates because I already had experience back in the Philippines, more than 20 years of journalism experience in TV broadcast. So it was different. For those who didn't have the experience, minsan hinahire sila sa film set, hire, but they're not getting paid. It's a lot of work, and it's you need very skillful people to do those, and maraming hindi binabayaran. Tapos ang sinasabi ng mga seniors sa industry, ganun lang muna mag-start. Doon muna kayo, ganyan. Pero sabi nga ng mga kaklase ko, habang nagsa-start, kailangan namin kumain, kailangan namin magbayad ng renta. So sana
That's
naman
true.
may konting something.
Yeah.
So, 'di ba? I mean, ako, I
That's
think my stand on it is kahit maliit, kahit allowance, kahit ano.
That's true.
Diba? A
That's
little
true.
bit of something, because that's effort being taken out. It's not enough an excuse that you can use this for your resume or later on
Yeah,
you can build it up.
that's
Parang after a while, that just sounds like an excuse.
That's true. It's like it's been like what, every 2 seasons there's gonna be like a fashion event, and then you're asking models to pay get exposed. Like for me, I think that's something I really wanted to touch on in this podcast, just because it's a bit distracting. At the same time, parang I feel bad about them, but at the same time, like as an influencer, it's like I think it's something that they should really put focus on. But in our end, like me as an influencer, it's really, again, I'm really grateful to, to have watched all those shows,
Oo.
to get, to actually be a media representative is, really grateful for it. But another thing I really want to touch on is like in the fashion industry, especially here in Toronto, diversity is still not that, they still have this what they call
Still not
standard
common.
beauty.
Oo.
I guess the perfect example I would say a standard beauty for fashion industry in Toronto would be, I'm not sure if they've watched Netflix's Selling Sunset, but those ladies for sure.
Yon, magandang
Yun-
example ng diversity. Sorry, I haven't seen it.
Oh, actually, it's
It's the other way around.
It's the other way
Oh,
around.
okay.
But that's what they're targeting for every single show, which is for me. I'm like, I mean, what
So sorry,
happened-
they're saying that this is diversity, pero
Yeah, it's a
Uh-uh.
diversity. Like, there's gonna be one who has Down syndrome, or one or two that are really plus size. You would see them, but it's still like
parang
10%.
masyadong formula.
Parang 10% lang out of 100%. Parang 80%, it's still, the thin ones, the tall
The
ones.
thin, the tall, the white.
the white, the black. Like, it's not, I mean, there are Asians now.
Kaya nga
but,
sinasabing may token Asian.
Yeah,
may
exactly.
Token black. Actually, the black is more
Yeah.
entrenched already.
yeah, exactly.
More than the Asians, I think,
Yeah.
if you agree.
The recent fashion show I went to, there's only, I think, one designer that really focused on indigenous. Na lahat talaga hinire niya puro mga indigenous models, which is amazing kasi it truly represents her brand kasi she's also indigenous. Pero yung mga Asian brands, like majority of them are still like white. Sabi ko, bakit ganito? Like,
Pero
dapat-
Asian brand.
It's an
Pero ang
Asian brand.
Kasi may ano rin ng Asians no? We also
Yeah.
kind of still look up to that kind of idea of fashion
Yeah.
and beauty.
That's true. Like, I just heard from my friend that maybe Koreans have this. That's why they are this thin. They are this thick. This is their standard of beauty. Otherwise, they won't make it. Like they won't make it in the K-pop scene. Like,
Oo.
and even in our country, when we are in this size, people would say, "Ang taba-taba mo naman. Bakit ganyan?" Which is in our, like, even for me as an influencer, parang, I still get, jabs at home saying that, oh, why is she becoming an influencer? She's not even like ideal. Like, it's, I think those are the situations, and I could always put that back in the fashion industry kasi nga, fashion is something, it's not just the clothes, the makeup, but it's the appearance of a person and how they present themselves. They still look up to that certain standard.
So how do you deal with that? How do you react to that? Ngayon mas open na sinasabi with plus size or with diversity, pero like what you're saying, the reality on the ground, there's still a lot to be desired.
Yeah, there's
Diba?
it's still a lot. Even with me being in the show, even I'm sitting in the front row, I barely get a lot of photos compared to those that are within their ideals. Mas marami silang videos, mas marami silang photos. Siguro ako parang siguro isa, dalawa out of the whole show. All those days. And I'm like, okay, I mean, what can I do? I try not to, feel bad about it, but at the same time, maybe because I need to step up somehow. So I keep on thinking of, the positive side where, you know what? We'll just watch and see what happens later, like, people will already start looking at that side where, hey, I mean, there are more plus size models than the thin ones, just to see na kung ano talaga yung reality.
Anong ginagawa mo para ma-represent yon Yung
So in my recent posts, I started posting like shoots of me, kind of like in a sexual way, a bit sensual, ganyan.
showing some skin.
Showing some skin. I feel like I'm in that point in my life now where I'm more comfortable of presenting that. Just because I said I'm already like in my late 30s, and it's not like, I'm still in my underage where I'm not supposed to show some skin. So it's like, okay, I think it's time to show a little bit, like show what my body really looks like. And
But isn't
I'm
that
proud of it.
also sorry, isn't that also in a way conforming to what people think of what sexy is? Seeing some skin or
I would say na, of course, like when you show some skin, you still have to be, like classy, something still professional, but not really exposing yourself too much.
so pinapakita mo na paano magiging sex o yung parang pinapakita mo na yung plus size ganito ang itsura ng sexy. I mean, sexy doesn't have to also just come in one size or two sizes.
Exactly. It
Right.
comes on all sizes. And it's how I really embrace that one. Because at first it was really hard to post those pictures. But at the same time, like, I think it's time. And I'm happy the way I am. I mean, I know people will say, oh, health-wise, it's not really good. But I said, okay, we were there. But I just went to the hospital, I had myself checked, and everything's normal. So I don't see why there's something wrong with my body, So it's like, here are the facts and I'm good. I don't even have any major health issues. So it's like, if it's about that, I don't think there's something wrong, diba? Parang, so I'm more like even happier to embrace who I am. I think because you have to also be mentally like, oh, kailangan, alam mo yun, hindi ka.
Yeah, what I'm getting now is yung strength nga kakaiba yung kasi it's so easy to just hide, and not really expose these things that will open yourself up to a lot of criticisms from people because hindi rin who wants to be criticized that way, diba?
That's right.
Pero what makes you put yourself out there and take these comments or the negative comments is what I'm hearing from you is one, you feel like you're representing a group of
That's right,
women who needs to be represented in that field, not just in terms of plus size, but also our ethnicity.
That's true.
As brown-skinned
That's true.
people, and also the practicality of it.
That's true.
You said you want this to be possibly your source of bread and butter. Ito yung kung pwedeng ito yung magiging source of income mo.
That's true. Yeah.
You want to go there, right?
That's true. It's like it's more and also like the advocacy of it na I would prefer na like I would continue. So that's how I really want to influence. Like, okay, we have the brands, we have the events and everything, but the end of the day it's more like, how can I make people happy with who they are? And it it's, but I'm not perfect as well. Like once in a while, when I see a guy dumps me, fine. I feel a bit, a little more, that rejection is like, oh my gosh, maybe because I look like this, but at the same time, but no, this is not the reason. It's just not the right timing or the right perspective or something. I just go and stand up and like, you know what? I could still do this, I could. And whatever negative comments they have, I was told by my boss at work na they're just white noise. Just let it, let it just fizzle.
And speaking of work,
Yes.
you have probably have a different personality at work because you work in a hospital. Oo, pakikwento nga sa amin yung trabaho mo on.
Oh my gosh, it's the most okay, I work in an admin at Toronto General, which I really love. I love my job, but it's actually my place of escape. my workmates are amazing. My bosses are amazing. Even though they're giving me an advice at work, they always connect it to the influencer career because it's about the stress part where, okay, just, calm down. There's always balance, like they're really supportive and I really love them. Like that department that I am,
You're lucky. So you work in an admin part of Toronto General Hospital, which is in a very specialized area.
That's true.
Anong tawag ng department mo?
So it's for malignant hyperthermia.
Oh, for malignant hyperthermia.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
And sabi mo, ilan lang kayo, di ba?
We're just like literally 5.
5 people handling the admin for that particular department.
Actually, I'm the only admin. So
okay.
yeah, and it's really, it's very, like, it's really fun kasi parang, for me, I like to work with a team. But if it's something as specific as this, it's really good to just work alone. Just because at least you have control of things. Yung focus talaga parang, and I'm very OC. So parang talagang, okay, I need to do this, do that. So I always I'm always ahead of my job, which is I really love. But at the same time, yung mga kasama ko sa work, they're fun to be with. And, but I really taas ng respect ko sa kanila kasi mga PhD sila and all that. And
but you're also a nursing graduate in the Philippines,
I'm a nursing graduate in the Philippines. Should I pursue that soon? I don't know. That's not in my cards. Dito? No, there's not.
Hindi ka nag-practice.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, do I really want to? I love my job right now. Because eventually, to be honest, even though I'm an influencer, I don't think I really want to leave healthcare. Especially na it is the one common denominator of every single industry. And especially when COVID happened, that's all about healthcare. Now everyone's having that common thread. So for me, I'm like, if this is the one job that you won't really lose because you are in healthcare, kind of thing. But at the same time, parang, it's something that you could, and that's another thing I want to touch base on, eventually, to be able to share what I've learned,
Sa healthcare
as well. So, yeah, it's a lot of things, but at the same time, even connecting to the fashion industry, if there's one thing that they don't have in the shows, are first aid people. Which is for me, I'm like,
these are the things that you notice, ano?
Yeah, so parang habi ko,
pero wala nga.
Wala talaga. And the problem is, these shows are not
kailangan yun, ha?
Kasi kailangan ng first aid. Ang daming,
possible accidents are right there.
And they do. And
they do. You've seen it happen.
Yeah, I see it. I think that's the
Wala
one.
ka namang ni-rescue dahil.
Wala pa naman. Pero maraming nagsabi ng models na ang dami daw nila na scrapes, cuts, ganyan.
Diba? Okay.
So parang there should be one to begin with. Diba? So I feel okay, I'm working in healthcare. Let's see what we can do. I think that's why it's that is the one common thread that every industry will have. Kasi
sa bagay, sabi nga health is wealth. I mean, it's so cliche, but it's true. How can you enjoy the very first thing in your life if you're in pain, if you're aching, if you're sick, if you're wala?
Exactly.
So that's really the foundation. That's really the basis.
That's true. So I see it in that sense. So it's and be able to work in the best hospital in Canada. I'm okay, I don't want to leave.
Pero anong persona mo? This is not your persona at work. Ito rin, iba lang ang uniform.
Actually, pag alam nila na pag naka-all pink ako, may event na pupuntahan to after.
Kasi you can wear whatever because it's admin.
It's an admin. And
so they know the pink is your other job.
That's true. And we're not patient facing really. We're always inside. So, so makita nila, okay, pag naka-pink to, okay, may event. Pag wala, uuwi lang siya sa bahay. Or I'm oh no, because the event's later on. I can still go home. But yeah, but honestly, whatever I present right now with you and whatever I present in my influencer lifestyle, it's the same at work. Yeah,
Okay. That's good to know. It's the
yes.
same D that we're seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mahirap nga naman kasi yung may front, may ano. Admittedly, before, I had a journalist front. Iba. Because especially when I was starting, I looked younger than my age, and I was really young when I started, and then I looked younger pa. I didn't even look like I was out of high school when I started being a reporter. So, and it lasted for a long time that people weren't taking me seriously. The ones I was interviewing, parang natatawa lang sila, para lang akong anak nila, kamukha lang ako ng anak nila. So, even if I'm asking really serious questions and I researched about stuff, I'm asking them, highfalutin, heavy questions that I really researched on, and they're like, oh, pinabili ka lang yata ng suka, ng ganyan. So parang that has always been a challenge. So I had a different persona na parang, this is my journal. I had to really tell them, take me seriously, please. So naka-high heels ako dapat na corporate heels, hindi yung party heels.
That's true.
Even if a reporter's life is running around in the field, I would do it in my 3-inch heels.
That's true.
And I always had that persona. But then, it's difficult to have to change na parang, iba ako sa mga kaibigan ko, iba ako sa mga pamilya ko, iba ako sa, maybe to a guy I'm making pa-cute to, iba rin, hindi ba? Pero
exactly.
it's very liberating to just be yourself in any of those situations.
That's true.
So I get you.
That's true. Thank you. I do get where you're coming from too, though. Kasi I had an interview with a designer and it was really nerve-wracking. So I have to act professional, like, okay, I'm right in front of this guy who came out of this TV show on Netflix. I'm so nervous. Or I have to do my interview. So I'm like, okay, so, hi. And then I did my interview and all that. And then I took out like this cute panda that I always have with me, like I bring it everywhere. It's like something, a trinket from my parents just to remind them that they're close by. So that's the one. But anyways, I took that thing out and then he was so happy. And then all of a sudden, parang okay, I became myself again. Kasi parang
na-break yung ice.
Na-break yung ice from that little trinket. So that was really fun. So
that's so sweet. It's something it's your lucky charm.
It's my lucky charm from my parents, yeah. So having to get that out, and then that's when he started talking, like really talking, and I'm like, okay. So I guess here in Canada, I would say it's a bit different kasi syempre sa Pinas, it's more like, I bet a lot of them are like, okay, do you actually have questions for us so that we know what to answer? But in here, it's more like, oh, we can bombard you. You have to be able to answer these questions right off the bat. So
I'm admiring your courage. Na parang all these things that you do seemingly push you out of your comfort zone all the time. Like you have to always, do things that are uncomfortable for
That's
you.
true.
But what do you think is it in your personality that makes you, just do that?
I have to be honest, like it started really with a competition from an ex-roommate. It started there. But eventually it's more like, you know what, I learned this from work, that if you want to push higher, you really have to really have that bigger goal. So it's eventually, instead of pushing myself because there's a competition, I learned to just push myself because I want to elevate myself for myself, but not to trump other people because that's not good. So the more I do that, the more, and of course I pray to God every time that, I really want this, and then I also manifest. So the more I just, and also chill, just relax, I think. Just, have that mindset na it's gonna come to you eventually, like those good things. So that's what, gives me that courage. And practicality's sake, I think I'm good with map directions. So just going everywhere isn't a big stress for me because a lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to this certain thing. Oh, where is it gonna be? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be here. How are we going to do it? Para at the end of the day, you know what? Nah, I can't come, But there are some that are like, oh, okay, we can do something about it. We can figure it out, So I think that's another thing. Kasi parang I've noticed when people are like out and then they have to go somewhere where they should go and they don't know how to go out about it, parang, never mind. I'm just gonna go.
It's enough to debilitate them.
Yeah, exactly.
Not make them go.
Yeah.
You moved to Canada in 2014?
2014.
Tama?
Yeah.
You were already a nurse in the Philippines? Or
Yes.
What were the circumstances that made you go here?
Better life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, my status in the Philippines isn't that good financially. And, even the state of the country itself, it's not as it's good. So, para happy ko, I really wanted, greener pasture. And being someone who's like, there's no influencer word for it yet at that time. It's more like blogger or something. Sabi ko, parang mas mag-excel ata ako pag pumunta ako sa ibang bansa. I chose Canada primarily kasi nga katabi ng States. So, ang daling puntahan.
Bakit? Ano meron sa States? Friends? Or you really like the US?
I love specifically New York. So, I go there often. Just last week, I was just there. So,
Oo nga. I saw your recent posts.
Yeah.
Mostly New York.
Yeah. So, I go back and forth just because fashion industry is really, really
Vibrant
big there.
Oo.
Thus, it's more, my personality is more into that city, to be honest, compared here. And so that's basically my primary reason. But at the same time, parang yun nga, you get better healthcare here, a better quality of life. And, it's something in my head where, I could bring my parents to because they want a better life too. So
Eventually, that's the game plan.
that's the game
You're
plan.
gonna get them here.
Yes, bring them here, and continue on with the life that they have. Na para ma-enjoy naman nila habang kaya pa.
Oo.
Yun.
Can you tell us some of the interesting stories and the events that you go to? Or ano yung mga pinaka-memorable na mga events na pinuntahan mo?
Oh, wow. Ang dami nila.
Oo nga I'm
I know.
sure.
I guess.
Kasi when people ask me, ano yung pinaka-memorable coverage mo as a news reporter? Ang dami.
Ang dami,
I'm sure
right?
the answers are a lot too. But
For
I guess I
sure.
just want to pick a few
That's
stories here and there.
That's true. So I guess here in Canada, I think the first one I really enjoyed was the Michelin star unveiling. Hindi ko in-expect na ma-invite sa ganyong, I guess.
Which one is this, sorry?
So it's for a Michelin star.
Michelin star restaurant.
Like they have this unveiling event from the company itself. So they
okay.
presented yung mga 2-star rating, 1-star. And that is the very first event na ginawa nila sa Toronto. Like it's their first time doing it in Toronto. So it was really a memorable experience. Like I get to meet yung mga chef na nanalo ng actually one lang nanalo ng 2-star. The rest are like 1-star. Like talagang ang high ng standards nila. Tas that was one of the events na na-enjoy ko. I think the next ones would be of course the fashion shows. Of course, enjoying
Sino
all
mga famous personality na meet mo na starstruck ka?
Taylor Swift. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. Here in Toronto.
Here in
She went
Toronto. So in that, parang super unexpected kasi like she was about to go inside na dapat para sa premiere ng All Too Well niya na video. Parang siguro she did that kasi she wants it to be eligible for the Oscars. So that has to happen. So, like she came out 10 minutes before the show supposed to start. And at that time, naghahanap na ako ng, saan pa ako pwede kumain? Nagugutom na ako. And then I was right by the barricade. And then she came out. Of course, I had to go to the barricade.
So wala masyadong tao.
umuwi na yung mga tao.
Oh, kasi
Yes.
unexpected na lalabas siya.
Yeah, they didn't think na babalik siya. Kasi pumasok na eh. Tapos biglang lumabas. So, syempre, oh my gosh. So, timing talaga. Tapos, what I really love about her is that she took as much as possible, she took all those phones from the fans and took
As
a
much as she
selfie.
can. Oo.
Considering na parang pandemic pa. Alam mo yun?
Pandemic pa yon.
Yeah, it was just September. So, parang
2021.
22.
22.
So,
Okay.
parang at the time, parang nag-start pa lang bumalik yung mga tao.
Normalize.
So, parang, oh my gosh, she took all those phones. Imagine how many germs are in those phones. Hindi naman sana, di ba? Pero parang, she did it. Because that's how she loves her fans. So, ayun. Tapos, I think the other person who has that similar thing, but she didn't took the phone. We did the selfies, Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the next day. That was the next day. And that is in connection with Toronto International Film Festival, which they always hold every September. So pag ganon, like pag September, ayan, talagang magpipila talaga ako para lang to see the stars, ganyan. I mean, being an influencer, I'm like, okay, I'm more interested in their after parties, but it does take a while to really know who's running those events. So, I mean, that is where, you know, as an influencer, that's where my networking comes into play now. Okay, who's dealing with the PR with this event, with the after party? I need to speak with them, you know, that kind of thing. It's because it's even better to take a picture with them, like they are at the party with them. Kasi may barrier.
Of course,
Ang pangit talaga tingnan, to be honest. Kaya parang okay, but oh well, it's,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
a physical, a mental, and an emotional thing that there's a barrier between you and the celebrity, di ba?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, a lot of people say, oh my gosh, you're really lucky. But at the same time, as an influencer, I'm like, no, I wasn't supposed to do this. And like, you know, but I guess it's just part of me where, okay, like, because I've already reached that stature, like, I wanted to meet them in the after party, you know. What other stories? Well, I would say New York Fashion Week. So that is the one experience that I had na. So it was February and it was my first time coming to New York Fashion Week. I felt like I was getting trained to a job because I didn't realize this is how much effort you would need to even get to that show.
Which is what? Anong kailangan pala?
Well, better clothes. Kasi they would really look at the clothes. They would really take a picture of the clothes. There's so many photographers, and some of them are even photographers from Vogue. They would really ignore you if they don't like what you wear. And at the time, I really did not make an effort because at the time, I really wanted to, you know, what do you call this? And observe. Observe what's happening. And there's particular show for Coach where I didn't realize that was even a big news because majority of the people that came are influencers as well. So I was like in my head, like, okay, I wanted to reach that point where I could be inside, you know, as well. But yeah, it was a great learning experience for me. It's not like something I enjoyed it, but at the same time, parang I'm glad I actually went to it so that next time I know what to do. Like, you know, literally like getting in a job. Yeah.
So now, alam mo na parang you really have to level up in terms of how you put yourself together.
That's true. And it's a bit, and ever since, like, because, you know, September's coming up, Fashion Week again is coming. So I'm like, okay, I need to be able to, you know,
it can get expensive.
It is.
Yung mga investment mo sa mga gamit, accessories.
Yeah, it does. So that's why it's really good to have a good network then. Kasi there are people that, like, especially there are some designers that can dress you up. Like for the one event I went to, so kaya I went to New York because there was an event for Vogue magazine that I went to. And at that time, yung suot kong damit was actually a custom dress from a local designer. So here in Toronto, I didn't spend on clothes, which is good. And then even the bus, because I took a bus to New York. I'd rather take a bus because it's like going from Baguio to Manila. Ganun yung feeling kasi. So even that bus, because I've ridden it quite a few times already. Like this last 2 trips that I had was actually a complimentary trip. So it's, I feel like as long as you have really good connections with the companies, then they don't mind giving you complimentary. So that's why it's more like a gifted thing. So it now boils down to, okay, food. Because even accommodation, I have a complimentary. So it's more like, okay, food. So you know what I did? I cooked food from here, brought them there.
Very Filipino.
Very Filipino. Like I said,
tayo.
kailangan magbaon kasi kailangan makatipid. Para at least there will be one day where you can actually splurge. So that's my thinking now. Okay, at least per one trip, there will be like this one restaurant I want to go to na medyo pricey, pero at least I don't feel guilty because at least like at the rest of the other days, I'll eat what I brought, Like it's... A lot of people say, "Oh, New York is so expensive." I'm like, it's just a matter on how you're spending.
Don't let it stop you.
That's true.
Kasi yun din yung mga. I love to travel also, and before I settled here in Canada in September 2021, puwera lang nung pandemic. Madalas kami mag-travel nung family ko, my husband and my kids. Also because when I was a reporter in ABS-CBN for 10 years, yung 10 years na yun, halos walang leave. I mean, kasi you're a newbie reporter. I know that the news is 24 hours, so you're always in tune with what's happening. And
That's true.
Di ka makakakuha ng leave na matagal talaga. So I missed graduations, I missed weddings, I missed birthdays, no holidays, no Christmas breaks, walang ganon. Yeah. So after noon, when I had a family, and then I moved to another station where I was in TV5, where I was more of an anchor than going out on field, doon na ako bumawi. Kasi of course I had kids na rin, and then that time I was more stable with my job. I was earning more than when I was a newbie reporter. So parang nasabik ako sa travel. So ang dami naming travel ng mga panahon na yon. And that's what they say nga sa, wag ka doon, mahal doon. Ganyan. Hawaii is our favorite place to visit.
Nice.
And they say, ang mahal sa Hawaii, kaya lang ang mahal, maganda pero mahal. Hindi. Depende lang kung paano mo hahanapin. And one trick, I don't know, maybe you know this, maybe a lot of people know this, but what I do is I look at the places near the university because the students are they have very discerning taste. Kailangan masarap ang pagkain pag estudyante. They have the highest, but they have the lowest budget also.
Yeah,
so the restaurants surrounding the university will be the good ones and the cheap ones.
That's true.
That's your
true.
That's a good advice from
That's a great tip. Yeah.
But I'm glad that you're not letting this stop you from pursuing your passion. The cost of it all, the things that you have to put yourself through. Ito talagang gusto mong gawin no? Parang nakakatuwa na talagang you're diving into it and you're putting everything into it.
Yeah, that's true. It's physically tiring, but at the same time, like once you get home and you look at all of those pictures, parang, oh my gosh, I love it. Na parang, I haven't even posted any of it. I think I only posted one event, but they're just because, it's the photographer's birthday, but I'm not even supposed to post it yet. Parang, at the same time, parang, wow, this is something like, special because I got to the point na because I always go to the city, nagiging mas localized na siya. Like this last trip, I've never even been to Rockefeller Center or Times Square. Just because I got to the point na parang, nasawa na. Parang ganon. So I just stuck to where I really wanted to stay. And that's in the West Village. Sabi ko, if God permitting, God's will, that's gonna be where I want to move eventually. Parang ganon. So I felt really at home, parang nalalakad na lang, tas, and then I stay.
I believe that's gonna happen for you. Maybe the next time we talk, visit me. I'm in West village.
Yes. I mean, I call myself IRL Fat Carrie for some reason. Like,
What is IRL Fat Carrie?
So it's a in real life Fat Carrie, based on Carrie Bradshaw's Sex in the City.
Oh.
Like, such a huge fan of it. So that's actually one of the stories I could tell too. So during the pandemic, I actually went to New York then, August of 2021. Kasi sabi ko, I really wanted to celebrate my birthday there. So I went. And then like 2 days after, nung time na yon, like they had this new series for the Sex and the City.
No, yung linlabas nila yung latest.
Yung latest. Yung And Just
Nawala
Like
na si
That.
Samantha.
Oo. So yun. Nakita ko yung buong filming. I was there the whole day.
Oh.
Kasi 2 weeks ako nandun. So, hindi ako nagmamadali na parang I don't mind spending the whole day just to watch them film their scenes. And it felt so good kasi like, hi Sarah. So, like, dumaan talaga si Sarah Jessica Parker. Kaway siyang ganon. Although at the time, I feel bad too because like she cannot even go close to us kasi ano pa yun talagang full on mask. Kahit kami nakamask pa din, outdoors.
Right.
Like, yung mga COVID testing, every block may testing sila. Yung mga ganon. So parang, you could have had like a picture together. Pero I had a picture with the director. So at least okay na ako doon. Pero like, I'm such a huge fan of it na parang, and just to see them doing the filming.
What about the fluff of it all? Yung parang, this is not real. The world that we see, that a lot of social media people post, parang hindi naman yan yung reality. Syempre, we show our best, our best front pag nagpo-post tayo. Pero in reality, hindi naman tayo ganun kasaya, hindi naman ganun ka okay. And of course, a lot of people are saying na it's not giving a good impression or a good mark on especially the young people.
That's true. So in my post though, if I really, really need to say something, I do say it. I think I had this one post nung January where it was a 5-minute video of me, taking out my frustrations on the fashion industry, on why they're not that diverse.
Oh, may ganun ka.
So may ganun akong video. I got 2 comments from an ex-friend or maybe an old friend I didn't expect that job, but at the same time, I just kind of like flinged it out because I was like, those are the only 2 comments that I received that are negative. Everything else were like a positive comment. So I feel okay. I kind of got weak at that point, but I grew stronger.
So nilalabas mo rin?
Nilalabas ko rin yung mga ganong frustrations. Kasi I see that, even with, with the And Just Like That, to be honest, that's not the whole reality of it. Like, so at the same time, parang sinishare ko na meron din akong struggles. I'm not perfect. Even with the posting of some of my pictures, I said that, it took me a while to get to this type of makeup, but it worked. Like, just showing them that it's not all, perfect. All
hindi lahat masaya.
Meron pa ring sadness in a way, but how I end that post is that, we can get through this. We're gonna be okay. Tomorrow's another day. Like it's I have to be that authentic. Kasi if not, parang why would people even follow you? Na parang hindi naman lahat perfect.
Anong gusto mong maging effect mo dun sa mga nakikinig or na those who are your followers?
I would say, dahil nga you're influencing people, I want them to at least, that to get motivated to kung ano man na pagdadaanan nila sa buhay na they would feel like there's there's a light in the tunnel, like there's hope that everything's gonna be okay. It does take one step at a time, but you'll get there. And even for myself, I always say, okay, this is just what 2 months of or 3 months of this setup, this situation. it's not even like a year yet. Like, I could get through with it. Just relax, chill. I think that's how, I wanted to
Project yourself.
project myself into people na parang, we could get through this. I mean, mental health is really such a serious issue. Pero, I know some of them are like getting to the point where they can't take it.
Mhm.
But I mean, I do understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, I'm like, it's part of life, So,
How do you see yourself like a few years from now? Ano yung gusto mong ma-achieve?
I would say the number of followers, I get the verified blue tick, get more exposure.
Ilan? How many followers do you want to have?
I
Did you say?
guess 500,000 in the
Okay.
next 4 years. I still want to be realistic. I think the most important is that blue tick, because at least there won't be any spam, because that's another issue that we're having really in general. There are spammers are still posting stuff. But at the same time, like, I want to be able to start, going through the advocacy. Hopefully by the time it's even more open.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of my friends are telling me, I think you should model. So that is why I'm like, I'm thinking of modeling, but maybe not on the runway, maybe more on magazines. I guess runway, I'm not sure yet, but as long as I get paid.
Not one of those free models.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah. It's good to see somebody doing something that she really loves.
Thank you.
So
Yes.
thank you so much, Dee.
Thank you, then,
It was a
Cherie.
pleasure speaking with you.
And thank you as well. I love
And
this
that
one.
wraps up another edition of our podcast. I hope you join us again next time. Bye.